So obviously AI is blowing up, and if you've ever wanted to invest your money in the AI sector, this video is gonna be for you. We'll go over 5 top AI stocks that are really popular with investors, and I'll go over the stats, the current news, and why I think they could be a good buy. So let's get started. Okay, so the first stock on our list is Nvidia, stock ticker NVDA. You guys know Nvidia, they are an American multinational tech company that really specialize in the manufacture and distribution of graphic processing units, GPUs. So the current price of one share of Nvidia is $450.96. If we take a look at the 1 month price chart, you guys can see we were about $424.30 just a month ago. It dropped a little bit, slowly has been going up, but over the last few days, the price has dropped a bit. However, if we zoom out to the 1 year price chart, you guys can see that the stock of Nvidia has gone up significantly. So we were in the high 100s, it sort of dropped down to the low 100s back in October of last year, September, around that time. And since then, it's just been on a really big run. Obviously, a lot of this has to do with AI, but we'll talk more about that later. More specifically, in the last year, we've gone from $108.13 per share all the way to a high of $480.88. It's a huge company with a market cap of over $1 trillion. We have a super high P/E ratio of 235.85, earnings per share of $1.93, and we currently have a dividend yield of 0.03%. Now, getting into some of the more complicated valuation measures, we have a 5-year expected PEG ratio of 2.62 and a price to book ratio of 47.42. In terms of profitability, we have a profit margin of 18.52%, a return on equity of 18.85%, and revenue over the last 12 months is at $25.88 billion. Let's also take a look at some of their balance sheet numbers. You can see they have total cash of over $15 billion and a current ratio of 3.43. In terms of the analyst recommendations, we have a 1.9 rating, which is a buy, and the average analyst price target is $486.15, which is just a little bit over the current price that it is today. Okay, so yeah, Nvidia is one of the largest tech companies in the world, and I think it's here to continue its track record of impressing its investors and being a key provider of indispensable products for the tech market. But more importantly, you guys, the company is broadening its reach to other markets and domains. So basically, they recently showcased its AI-powered software that's able to assess carbon capture and storage data 700,000 times faster than typical numerical simulators. So to put this into perspective, while it takes a normal numerical simulator about 2 years to adequately assess CO2 plume and pressure buildup data, it takes NVIDIA's FNO software only 2.8 seconds. So yeah, obviously they're making some big moves in the AI tech race. In other news, they're also even teaming up with some of their biggest competitors in the market. It's been announced that Intel and NVIDIA will collaborate on confidential computing for AI workloads. And the ultimate goal of this team up is to basically streamline the process of protecting data and code for customers. This should provide a pretty significant economic moat for both of these companies, since they're providing something that no other company or enterprise can provide. And as tech dependence grows larger and larger, the need for new measures of cybersecurity will naturally follow. NVIDIA also continues to be a provider of crucial AI tech for businesses. Its new collaboration with Snowflake will enable businesses to build their own custom AI software or services. And for me, what makes NVIDIA such a valuable company with significant upside is that its biggest customers will be other large or growing businesses. If you're trying to invest in the AI industry, then obviously Nvidia is one of the most popular picks out there. It's in my personal portfolio. I think it's a solid long-term pick. And while the prices increased significantly over the last year with a definite possibility of a small correction, I think in the long term it should do quite well. All right, so right now investing in AI is super exciting. And if you're watching this, then you obviously understand why investing in stocks is so great. The historical performance has just been very, very strong. Now to invest, I use Moomoo, an amazing stock investing platform that makes investing easy for anyone. With their app, you can explore various sectors, find solid stocks, and get their free comprehensive analysis tool. I really encourage you guys to check out their industrial chain feature, which allows you to find AI stocks and so much more. For example, if I come here and click on ChatGPT, it'll show me all the companies related to the infrastructure, algorithm, and application layers of the platform. I can click on any of them and it's going to show me the related stocks. You can also see how Wall Street Financial financial analysts rate it and its estimated target price, as they have access to a wide range of information and resources that can help predict stock performance. Now, Moomoo is one of my favorite investing platforms that I've heavily vetted and personally used. They're used by 20 million users worldwide, and they're a super great platform to buy, sell, and hold stocks on. So right now you'll get up to 16 free stocks if you sign up and fund your account using the special link down below. Don't wait, because this offer is not gonna last forever. And again, that link will be down below in the description. And now back to the video. Okay, so the next stock we're talking about is C3.ai. C3.ai is an American company specializing in AI tech. And we'll sort of talk about what they do after these stats. So currently, one share of C3.ai is trading for about $39, $38. You guys can see over the last month, the price has been relatively stable, plus or minus about 5–10%. If we zoom out to the 1-year price chart, you guys can see we've seen some pretty significant gains. We started the year at about $21 a share, sort of dropped down here to about $10. So of course, quite volatile. And since then, we've seen a pretty big spike in price, but definitely some volatility along the way. So yeah, over the last 52 weeks, the low is $10.16, while the high is $48.87. We have a market cap of $4.72 billion. The earnings per share is actually negative, meaning it's not profitable. And if you take a look at some of the valuation measures, you can see that the current price to sales ratio is 16.77, and the price to book ratio is 5.07. Now, obviously, this is not a profitable company yet. There is a negative profit margin, and we also have a negative return on equity as well. Revenue over the last 12 months was $266.8 million. They currently have $730 million in the bank, and the current ratio is 6.53. Analysts are rating C3.ai as a 3.2, meaning it's a hold, and the current price is also a good amount higher than the average price target, so something definitely to keep in mind. So getting more into a little bit about what C3.ai does, they basically offer AI-based programs like demand forecasting, and they recently created a generative AI software, the same software that runs the chatbots on the internet. In fact, the company announced that its generative AI software was already available to be purchased on the AWS marketplace. Some people are definitely skeptical about C3.ai's relative infancy, especially in the AI and tech sectors, but just looking at what they've done, they've for sure provided a bunch of tangible value to customers already. It's also important to note that while the company is not technically profitable, its revenues are growing. So while the most recent fiscal year gains were not as high as the year before, the company still achieved sizable revenue with a 6% increase. And yeah, if you've been following AI stocks, you'll know that C3.ai is one of the hottest AI stocks of the year. And I do like the fact that they are actually allocating a lot of their financial resources towards additional on-demand AI softwares or programs. In fact, the company already has AI-based solutions for multiple industries, which is a key advantage in the tech sector. For example, the company has an energy management product to help businesses reduce operating costs and meet sustainability goals, which is really integral to managing the budget and operation of most businesses. More specifically, C3.ai's business has found 2 niches to cater to: oil and gas and defense. It's hard to think of more indispensable and more profitable industries than these two. See, honestly, I think C3.ai is a treasure chest that is still waiting to be opened. And basically, the most optimistic takeaway is that C3.ai is one of the most exciting and hyped newcomers in an industry that has been backed by some of the biggest tech conglomerates in the world. Overall, definitely a very popular stock. So if you do want to invest in AI, I would definitely consider and do some more research about this stock. Okay, number 3 on the list is going to be Adobe, stock ticker ADBE. Adobe is an American multinational computer software company that produces and provides a variety of photo, video, and audio editing software. So right now, one share of Adobe is trading for $516.88. If we take a look at the 1-month price chart, you guys can see we did see some pretty sizable gains. We started at high 400s. It remained pretty consistent and then it has shot up over the last couple of weeks. Performance outlook is also pretty great on Yahoo Finance. And if we look at the 1-year price chart, you guys can see we were actually at some pretty high points about 1 year ago. It reached the mid 400s per share, dropped all the way down to the high 200s. And since then, it's slowly been going up on average. More specifically, in the last 52 weeks, we reached a low of $274.73. And that has basically doubled to the high of $539. We have a market cap of $240 billion, P ratio of 48.53, and an earnings per share of $10.65. The 5-year expected PEG ratio is 2.23, and we have a price to book ratio of 16.19. In terms of profitability, they do quite well with a profit margin of 26.34. We have a return on equity of 33.68%, revenue over the last 12 months of $18.43 billion, and a current ratio of 1.16. In terms of what analysts have to say, it's currently a 2.2, meaning it is a buy, and the average analyst price target is $541, which is about 5% higher than the current price. So the most exciting thing to come out of Adobe is its generative AI software, Firefly. Adobe Firefly is extremely accessible and user-friendly, and basically all you need to do is type the words or description of whatever object or scene you want, and the system will generate images based on your input. One of the biggest advantages of Adobe Firefly is that it was trained on open source image and content from Adobe stock. This is a huge contrast to other generative AI software that reportedly scrape images off the internet, regardless of copyright or licensing. So yeah, as an investor, it should be reassuring that Adobe software is relatively immune to legal interference and relies on a more ethical approach to generative AI software. Firefly makes me quite optimistic about Adobe's earnings future and its place in the AI market, especially in the creative niche. We're talking about an AI software that may soon have an integral role in editing or even creating your multimedia projects. This would be extremely valuable to all business owners, and think about how much this can impact marketing. And yeah, it's interesting because it's been reported that AI images are actually outperforming photos on Adobe stock, reporting a higher revenue per download for AI images compared to any other file. Guys, we all know Adobe, right? You've probably used Photoshop. They have a ton of other software. And yes, they are doing a lot of cool stuff in the AI space, but this is also a super solid company that I've been talking about for many, many years. It's really a company that I believe in for the long term. And yes, it may be pretty hyped right now due to the AI stuff, but I truly believe that AI will really change the way a lot of programs manipulate images and video. And I think Adobe is going to be at the forefront of that. Okay, stock number 4 is Apple, stock ticker AAPL. Apple is an American multinational tech company known for its smart devices and operating systems. So right now, one share of Apple is trading for about $193. If we take a look at the 1-month price chart, we can see we've seen some decent gains. A month ago, we were at about $183, and since then it's gone up. Let's also zoom out to the 1-year price chart. You guys can see 1 year ago, it was about $150 a share, shot up to $173. We did see the price go all the way down here until about $130, $125. And since then, it's been on a very steady run upwards. So yeah, more specifically in the last 52 weeks, the low has been $124.17, and the high has been $198.23. The market cap is $3.038 trillion, absolutely gigantic company. We have a P ratio of 32.62, earnings per share of $5.92, and we have a small dividend yield of 0.5%. The 5-year expected PEG ratio is 2.68, and we have a price to book ratio of 49.37. Now, in terms of profitability, Apple is amazing. They have a profit margin of 24.49%. We have a super high return on equity of 145.6%. Revenue over the last 12 months was $385 billion. They're also extremely cash heavy with about $56 billion in the bank, and they have a current ratio of 0.94. Right now, analysts are rating Apple as a 2, meaning it is a buy, and the average analyst price target is $190.65, which is just about 2% lower than the current price of $193. Okay, so what Apple is so good at is building an ecosystem by integrating its products into one cohesive, streamlined environment where it only makes sense, for example, to get a MacBook if you already have an iPhone. And yeah, this innovation has paid off. Apple is still the biggest company in the world per market cap. But how does Apple's dominance relate to the AI scene? Well, Apple already has a significant advantage over most, if not all, other companies. Its ecosystem, if able to accommodate AI models and programs, will be even more streamlined. The thing is, Apple is already making significant strides towards an AI-based ecosystem with some exciting announcements about its future at the Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC 2023. The first being that iOS 17 will be the latest OS for iPhones with AI-powered features, and one of the new features is an enhanced AI-driven autocorrect system that essentially familiarizes itself with your typing style by basically learning from the words that you use, and it'll basically constantly improve its suggestions to be catered to you, the user. Apple's also implementing a new app called Journal, which is a personal diary that provides custom recommendations for users based on their activity in other applications. Apple also has the potential to use AI to enhance one of its most popular features, which is Siri. We can expect Siri to evolve from a bot that obeys commands to an assistant that can hold an engaging conversation with its user. So yeah, one day Siri could, maybe be smart enough to schedule the best times to show ads based on users' schedules or facilitate day-to-day applications to streamline the user's daily itinerary. And as Siri continually advances, the appeal of integrating other apps with Siri will also grow. You guys have probably also seen this. They talked about the Apple Vision Pro, which is a VR headset that will change the digital shopping experience. With the Apple Vision Pro, users can basically visualize products in different scenarios, which allows them to see themselves wearing various outfits in multiple environments. And yeah, I think that's super, super cool. People will also be able to virtually try on different apparel. And I also think that this device could really change the whole landscape of desktop computers. Instead of having a bunch of screens and a big desktop and all that stuff, you could just rely on a device like this, work with all those screens in the Apple Vision Pro. And yeah, I think that's a super, super exciting future. So of course, Apple is one of my biggest holdings in terms of stocks. It's great when it comes to AI. It's also great when it comes to just tech in general. So that's why I think this is a great long-term stock. Okay, so next up is Advanced Micro Devices, Inc., stock ticker AMD. AMD is an American multinational semiconductor company that basically builds computing technology with an emphasis on computer processors. So if you take a look at the current price, it's at about $110 per share. You can see over the last month, it's sort of gone down, up, and back down. If we zoom out to the 1-year price chart, you guys can see we have seen some pretty healthy growth. It did drop down to about $57 a share, but since then it's steadily gone up to the current price. So yeah, 52-week low of $54.57 specifically, and a 52-week high of $132.83. Also a big company at $177.542 billion market cap. We have a PE ratio of 580.26, which is insanely high, which of course is not a good thing. We have an earnings per share of 19 cents. And if you take a look at some of the other valuation measures, we have a 5-year expected PEG ratio of 1.89 and a price to book ratio of 3.43. In terms of profitability, we have a profit margin of 1.71%, return on equity of 0.72%, and in the last 12 months, they've done revenue of $23.07 billion. They have about $6 billion of total cash, and the current ratio is 2.38. In terms of analyst recommendations, it's currently rated a 2.1, meaning it is a buy, and the average analyst price target is $133.70, which is about 20% higher than the current price. Okay, so AMD's latest announcement has caught the AI and tech world in a whirlwind. They recently unveiled their new GPU, which will be shipped to customers later this year. Obviously, the introduction of a new product is really cool, and it sort of does threaten Nvidia's dominance of the AI chip market. Now, why is that? Popular AI programs like ChatGPT, they run on large language models. These LLMs depend on accelerators that store and encode tens of billions of parameters. So Nvidia's H100 chip, the most popular chip for running AI programs, has 120 gigabytes of memory. Compare this to AMD's new chip with 192 gigabytes. And if AMD's new AI chip becomes the mother of all AI chips for the near future, AMD's chip and AMD itself should and will find plenty of economic interest in the AI sector, which at the moment, of course, is red hot. Some of the most expensive Nvidia AI chips sell for more than $40,000, and AMD just made a chip that actually beats them. This can mean a good amount of growth potential for AMD as a company and a lot of profit potential for investors. In fact, a lot of people, they actually do think that AMD might be undervalued right now. For example, AMD CEO Lisa Su, she expects the overall AI chip market to augment dramatically within the next few years, basically predicting that the data center chip market will quintuple from $30 billion to $150 billion. If AMD continues to be a key player in the AI chip market, its growth should logically follow. AMD's market cap is also much smaller compared to Nvidia's, and so it'll be really interesting to see how these two battle it out. On top of all this stuff relating to AI, AMD actually offers a really diverse catalog of products, and this type of diverse business model really means that its revenue is not solely based on one singular product. And if you guys know me, I love diversification, and so that's why I think AMD is one of the safer bets when it comes to AI related stocks. Anyways, there you have it. Those are 5 of the most popular AI stocks that you guys can buy today. I hope you guys got some good information from this video. I know we covered a lot of stuff. But yeah, when it comes to investing, you guys, it's really, really important to do your own due diligence, do your own research, make sure you understand fully what you are investing into, and definitely don't buy any of these stocks just because it was in this video. Do your own research and then make your own informed decisions. If you guys got some value from this video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. I do a ton of videos about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. And yeah, basically my whole goal is to help you guys become financially successful. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.